In today's episode, we'll be taking a look at another batch of viral clips and determining how easy or difficult it is to replicate them. So why don't I kick us off with this right here. And welcome back to another episode of Screen Tested. I am your host Tyrant, and we're going to be doing another episode on debunking. I say debunking, kind of maybe confirming, viral clips, really cool stuff that you might see out there on the interwebs. You guys rather unexpectedly, I must admit, enjoyed the last episode. I just thought it would do rather mid at best, but it seems you guys kind of enjoyed it. So we'll do another one, and if you guys enjoy this one, maybe we'll do another one. But let's see how this one goes first, of course. Now, first thing to mention, obviously, is if this is your first time on the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy. So if you don't know what the format is, what we're going to do is we're going to watch a clip. We're going to, kind of talk about the clip, discuss whether or not, it's really easy or difficult, and then we will attempt to do it ourselves. I don't like doing react videos. I like doing the thing as well. And then we'll give it a score out of 10, whether or not, how difficult it is, right? Difficulty scaling, if you want to put it that way. So starting off with this one here. I really wanted to do this, to take a look at this one because I love this. So this is really hard to do for a lot of different reasons. And the main reason why is obviously weight distribution, and leverage. Something that I have tried so desperately to explain in a lot of the Giant Sword episodes. I've tried my hardest. People just don't get it, right? So the reason why this is really difficult is because you obviously have a concentrated weight point and you're holding it very far away from its point of balance, and then you're very slowly kind of bringing it down and bringing it up. Very, very awesome to do, like a genuine feat of strength. Like this is, strength, right? So this is a 12-pound sledgehammer, so 6 kilos-ish. Let's give it a go. But I don't actually have a proper sledgehammer, like a full-size one, but I have 2 smaller ones. So what I've done is I've duct taped 2 of them together. Let's hope that this works. So funny story, for an upcoming project, I actually got this 14-pound head, and I decided to push my luck and try it with that. It was a lot more difficult. I had some trouble with this one. That is definitely very difficult to do, especially if you go up with those higher weights. So I would definitely say this is like it ranges depending on how much weight, but definitely from like the 7 to 9 mark, somewhere in there. Alrighty, for our next clip, we have another Eddie Hall and Brian Shaw one. As I mentioned in the last episode, I'm a big fan of those guys. This one here is interesting, right? So a feat of strength. I haven't seen this one. I don't know if it's a super common one, but I have seen it before, and that is people are bending metal hafted hammers. Now that's really important. That's something that's just genuinely important when you look at these clips, and if you're going to try them yourselves or recreate them or anything like that, you really need to pay attention to what they're using in the clips, because that is the most important deciding factor whether or not something's easy or difficult. A good example of this was in the last episode when we were talking about the frying pan bends. The particular pan that Eddie was doing, right, was very thin. It was not a difficult pan, right? Which is a really important caveat, because whether or not something's impressive or not really depends on the particular item and what they're doing. So if we look here, this guy here has bent this metal handle hammer. That's the important part there. So Eddie and Brian, they're going to give it a go because, obviously, the world's strongest dudes. And they try it with I would say a plastic handle hammer. Like I don't think you're going to be able to do that. Plastic, is very malleable. It's not as stiff. It's also a lot thicker. So I just don't think, and I also think there's probably, maybe like a wood core or something like that, right? So this hammer that they're using in this particular clip is not even similar to the one in the original clip. So I just don't think they're not going to be able to do it, right? The thing is though, I do think that if they had gotten a hammer with a metal handle, they probably could do it. So that's what we're going to do right now. Let's go get a metal handled hammer and give it a go. Now, something to mention is obviously hammers are, hardened steel for the most part. So this is going to be probably very difficult. Let's see what we can do. So here we have a brand new hammer. This one has a full metal body, and this is what we're going to be attempting to bend today. That's loud. Brand new. So what we're going to do is let's try and bend it. I'm also going to use a little bit of extra cushioning this time because it was really hard on the leg last time. So this is the bend that I got. Not quite a full 180, but this was, this is a $30, $40 hammer, right? So it's not the worst thing in the world, but there's a whole bunch of caveats here, right? It depends how long the hammer is. Like I did the smaller one, and you can see that the bend isn't as pronounced. It also bent at the tang and a little bit on the head, because usually the head has a bit of, hardened steel, and then down near the neck and the tang, it's a bit softer steel. So there's a lot of caveats here, but I'd definitely give this one a solid, probably like a 7.5 out of 10. Quite difficult. I would even bump it up to 8, honestly. But yeah, the 1-inch punch. This is something that I've never tried before, never even practice, if we want to put it that way, because it's not really like a, how would I describe it, a super martially important thing to learn. So I'm going to give it a go. I've actually purchased one of these brake boards, these martial art brake boards, specifically the black one, the kind of, the thickest one, and we're going to give it a go. So let's watch Mike. I really enjoy Mike Shake. We've seen his content before on the channel. He does great stuff. I really like him. Did you know that 69% of you are not subscribed? Nice. But today I would appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. As much as I don't want to move from the 69 number, I would like if you guys subscribed, because that would make my day. I hope you guys are enjoying the episode. Let's get back to it. I mean, it is funny that the 1-inch punch isn't actually 1 inch as well. I feel like that's an important caveat. Like, if I look at the length of my fingers, they are longer than 1 inch. So even if I go bang, that's still more than 1 inch. 1 inch is like that, like from the knuckle. Anyway, we're gonna do it the way Mike's doing it. Now, I feel like there is a really important little caveat here, and that is how broken in the board is, because these boards are made of like a plastic, right? They're made of high impact plastic, and so the joint on them that actually breaks apart, because obviously they're reusable, is plastic, and plastic wears out over time. So over time, these boards will get looser and looser, so they don't have the same amount of force required as when they're brand new. So this is an interesting one, because I don't think it's that difficult in terms of raw power. I feel like this one is more of a technique-based type of trick. I don't know if trick's the right word, but essentially what you want to be doing is using your entire body, your kinetic chain link from all the way down from your feet, all the way up to your fist, to essentially, be able to put as much force into a punch as possible. So in terms of rating or ranking the 1-inch punch, there really isn't a ranking or rating. And the reason why is because you can technically do the 1-inch punch on anything. You do it on a boxing bag, hell, do it on a pillow if you want. So the difficulty comes in terms of what you're actually hitting. For example, this is a brake board, right? So we're hitting a brake board, that's the difficulty part. The 1-inch punch itself doesn't really pose much difficulty. I hope that made sense. So this next clip, I was originally going to add it in, and then I saw that a lot of people had already kind of, shown that it's very easy to do and it's very simple to do. So I decided I was going to take it out. But then I also decided, you know what, let's just add it in for anyway. Ripping an apple with your bare hands, it's not a strength thing at all. It's actually just a technique thing, because of the way, I would say, what is it, the fibers of the apple kind of are. So if you apply pressure in a specific way, it naturally wants to split apart. So grab an apple, hold it in a specific way, and split it apart. We'll do it just for fun, but this one is very easy, very easy. We have a completely solid apple here, and if I just apply a little bit of force in the center of it, pushing downwards, then you can pull them in half. So this one is purely more just a trick than anything else. So if I kind of hold it like this, other side, apply that downwards pressure squeezing, you can just pull them in half. So this is the core here. We were splitting it this way. Let's try and split it this way. Damn it. I mean, I think that's a success. I'm getting apple juice all over me, but we've still got the stem. Still got the stem sticking out of the apple. But yeah, we can split it both ways, I guess. The other is just, I'm getting crap all over me. Hold on, like a 1 out of 10. And then next up, let's have a look at another cutting one. Obviously, I do a lot of swordsmanship on the channel. I love swords, as you guys are well aware. So I wanted to have a look at this guy's stuff. It's all 100% legit, of course. I just wanted to try it, specifically because he's cutting with straw. Now, straw is not a medium that I would cut with very often, but it looks very fun. And the reason why is because obviously it has very loose fibers. It means when you do a cut, you get like anime cuts when you do it, at least from what I see him doing. When you cut, those fibers kind of, they split apart, but they kind of stay together because of how, porous, is that the right word? How porous the straw is. So it kind of stays together and you get these really cool kind of shots. So I definitely want to give that a go because I think it looks very fun. So we're going to be cutting some bamboo today. Now I know in the clip he predominantly cuts straw, but he does also cut some bamboo, to be completely fair. The reason why is I haven't had enough time to go get some straw, but I did recently get a bunch of bamboo. So this should actually be way more difficult than straw as well, and I've never personally cut bamboo like this, so I'm also very curious. Now in terms of its moisture content, it's pretty dry, so this is probably going to be pretty punishing. Oh damn, a little bit too much power. To give you an idea of how thick the bamboo is, so this is the blade here, and then this is the thickness of the bamboo, so it's thicker than the blade. I like the way it cuts. It's a fascinating material. I kind of liked it, specifically because it's not like bone, it's not like flesh, it's not like pool noodles, it's not like water bottles, and it's not like cutting into just regular wood fiber. It's kind of its own thing because it has the hollow sections in between. The interesting thing is I could definitely see what I would use this for, and what I would specifically use it for in training would be power management, because there's a very fine line between cutting through and not cutting through, but you don't want to put too much power in, right? Now obviously I don't know how fresh bamboo is going to cut. I don't have any. This is not fresh bamboo, so it's probably a little bit more punishing, but relatively speaking, I kind of like it as a material. In terms of its difficulty, I would actually put this as one of the more difficult cutting mediums, just because you need to get your power right. You need to get your edge alignment, all that sort of stuff. Probably like a 3 or 4 out of 10, It's not the easiest thing to cut, but it's not impossible either. It's just a very interesting medium more than anything else. Ooh, okay. Another grip strength one. So this one here, World's Strongest Man, we obviously have Tom Stoltman. I believe he's the current World's Strongest Man. I actually have these exact grippers. Where are they? I actually have these exact grippers. These are 300 pounds, 150 kilos-ish. I'll put an exact thing there. I have been, now obviously you guys know my grip strength is kind of healed. As you guys know, I've been dealing with a big tendon injury for the last like 2-3 months, super painful, and I've been using these 50-pound ones as kind of like physical therapy to kind of fix up my grip strength. So we're going to be trying 300 pounds. He couldn't do it, as it seems. So do I think I can do it? No. Hell no. Hell no. Might have to get some close-ups because you're not going to be able to see it, but 300 pounds. I know that I can't do this, but let's do it anyway. Let's try it. Nope. 10 out of 10. Can't do it. Can't do this one. But I think that is going to be enough for today's episode. We've done like kind of more clips than we did in the first one, and hopefully if you guys enjoyed, I hope you guys enjoyed, and this episode does well again, we can do another episode. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you wanted to support this channel and the type of content I do, there's links down below. But as always, I'll see you next week in another episode. Have a good one, guys.